as I said when I introduced the show at the start, this man in front of me, DJ Dougal, I do not care what anyone says. If you've thrown your hands in the air in the middle of a dance floor, if you've listened to banging kick drums, if you've raved to breakbeat music with bass line in it, if you've smiled out on the dance floor, if you've got any ounce of rave running through your bones, this man in front of me, DJ Dougal, needs extra massive big ups, because probably without him being so determined in the early 90s to bring the uplifting happy vibe to rave, we might not have had it. And that's how I see that. DJ Dougal, welcome to the show.
Thank you ever so much for that video.
You like that, didn't you?
Love you.
Look, I know you love me, I know you love me. And do you think that, like, 88, 89 rave era inspired you to become a rave DJ, to become the DJ that you was, or did you want to be a DJ before that?
When I first wanted to be a DJ, first of all, I've got to say, my dad was a DJ. So he was doing DJing, doing weddings and God knows what, when I was like sort of 8 years old. And I used to go with him then. And they used to put me under the decks, and I used to sleep while he was DJing.
Yeah.
So I think from a very early age, I had it sort of drummed into me from my dad. And from then, 1985 was definitely the first time I sort of thought, right, I've got to get a set of decks. I was watching all the breakdance videos and stuff, like Ollie and Jerry, and that's the first time I remember seeing the turntable. And I remember sort of seeing the slip mats on top of them, and I was like, what are these mats? And my dad was like, you know, well, I don't know what these bloody things are for. And I was like, well, I want to know. And then I went to Torremolinos for a holiday, and there was a DJ there, and he was started scratching and stuff, and he had the DMC slip mats on the wall behind him DJing. And I was like, you know, what's that all about? And he was like, oh, you got to have these so the record can, you know, slide and that. I was like, right, I've got to have these slip mats. He's like, well, you got to be a member of DMC. I was like, well, what do you have to do to be a member of DMC?
How old would you have been? 14, 15?
It was 1987, so I was 12.
Wow.
So I saw them slip mats, and then I thought, right, I've got to be a DJ to get them. And it all sort of just, it was all around that era. So then my dad gave me his decks, and then I started mucking around. Don't get me wrong, they weren't 1210s, they were like, you know, dodgy belt drive things. So started mucking around on there. But the thing was then, nobody else was a DJ, so no one could tell me. I didn't even have pitch control, didn't know what pitch control was.
DJing we was actually the uncool people. The DJ was an uncool job, wasn't it?
Absolutely. When people said, you know, you're going to be a DJ, what, you're going to like stand there with a mic and introduce records? I'm like, no, that's not what I want to do. I just want to play records. And people saying to me, well, you've got to be able to talk on the mic. And I'm like, the last thing I want to bloody do is talk on the mic. So forget that. But, you know, sort of carried on with it, started sort of mixing about a little bit, but there was no pitch controls then. So then I started doing a paper round. I thought, right, I'm going to save up and get myself some 1210s. A year later, I got one 1210. Kept begging my mum and dad to sort of help me get the second one, and build it up into the second one. And all I had was like a ghetto blaster as my mixer, and I had like a left and right channel, and I was like sort of mixing sort of
from one to the other,
but like from left to right channels. So still no mixer. And then I was like, I had to do my work experience at school, so I was like, what the hell am I going to do? So did some work experience at like a disco shop, and then they set the speakers up at the very first ESP, and I begged my mum and dad to let me go. I was 14.
ESP was Dreamscape, for those who don't know.
Absolutely that. So 14 years old, I was like, right, let's go and do my work experience. Went along to the VSP, and that was the first time I ever saw, you know, sort of the
What was that, 1990?
I think I was 14, so it might have been, it would have been 1990,
And so you had your work experience putting speakers into Dreamscape.
Well, not Dreamscape,
ESP.
Just ESP, Dreamscape hadn't been born yet.
And what club was that?
That was Milwaukee's.
And you stayed there all night?
Yeah, set the speakers up at 9, venue opened at 10, and then finished at 2 in the morning. And all I remember, my first vision of rave was DJ Neil Parnell playing with most probably a 20k sound system in a club that the ceiling was only sort of 6 foot high. And a strobe and a fog machine, and then all these people with big funny floppy hats doing this mad dance I've never seen in my life. And I was like, well, what is this all about?
And can you remember what tunes it was?
Expansions, Move Your Body Higher was the first song that I ever remember that got me straight away.
How did the first gig at a rave come for you?
Right, it was quite a long story because it wasn't simple. First of all, because I couldn't just sort of go and start working at ESP and stuff, I sort of had to, you know, sort of prove myself. So I set up all my speakers, started doing like sort of discos almost, but for cool people.
Yeah.
So like, I was the only person who had decks, and I had bought so many speakers. Every time I saw a speaker, I just had to have it. So started getting loads of speakers, and then like when someone was like having their 18th birthday, even though I was only 14, they were like, well, we need someone who can play maybe some cool music and not just a normal DJ, doing like disco pop music. So I was like, right, okay, I can start doing that. So I started DJing at all these sort of people, sort of like who I really looked up to, you know, sort of like
your older people,
and started doing like their parties and stuff, doing their birthday parties. There was this club in Northampton called the Crazy Coyote, and it was in the basement. I used to start playing there at 9 at night and would finish about 6 in the morning. When I was DJing down there, one that Murray Beatson come along, he was like, oh, you set the speakers up, don't you, down at ESP?
Yeah. And for those who don't know, tell them who Murray is.
Murray was the founder of ESP with sort of a Dreamscape. So yeah, Murray come down and he was like, well, you know, you think we need to get you down my club, don't we? And I was like, yeah. So he goes, well, let's see what you can do. And I started doing a bit of scratching, and sort of there weren't really anyone doing scratching at that time.
Right.
So it's sort of like, you've got to do that at my club. So a couple of weeks later, I was down at ESP doing sort of basically the warm-up set, the old 10 to 11.
Yeah.
Was shaking like a leaf. Oh my god, I remember holding the needle, and I was just absolutely terrified.
And what DJs were on the lineup?
That would have been most probably then, actually, because it was so early, it would have been just most probably Neil Parnell and then like another one of their resident DJs. But very quickly, it's like as the rave scene just exploded, all of a sudden it was right, Cole Cox was on the lineup, Groove Rider was on the lineup, Swanee, Master Safe, you know, they were the boys, fantasy. And then I was still the warm-up DJ for a long time, but what was quite good is like a few of these DJs, they started getting busy, and what happened is they wouldn't turn up for their sets, so I'm standing there in my records like, brilliant, I'll do the flipping 1 o'clock set, and they're like, shit, we've got to let Paul do the 1 o'clock set. Then all of a sudden, I started doing the 1 o'clock sets, and they were going off, so you know, I started getting more and more 1 o'clock sets, and as sort of more and more DJs got busy, I did get, you know, sort of to fill in their sets. I remember one New Year's Eve, Fantasy, I think, he was really late for his set, so I managed to do on New Year's Eve like sort of 12 till 3 in the morning or something, and that just opened up such a massive door to me, and it made me
what was that, like 90 New Year's Eve 1990?
Round about then, yeah. Definitely. So that was sort of, that was the beginning of my Milwaukee days, and then sort of a little bit later, so it was like it was time for Dreamscape. So Murray was saying, look, I'm going to do this big rave called Dreamscape, do you want to play? So yeah, that's how it all sort of started.
And that was kind of, because you're synonymous with Dreamscape, aren't you? Like Slipmatt with Rain Dance, Mickey Vin with AWOL, you know, a lot of DJs from the older generation are synonymous with a rave, and Dreamscape, as you said, there's a story there of how you become synonymous with Dreamscape and Dougal go hand in hand. Yeah,
I mean, it's amazing that, you know, it was Murray coming in that club that night when I was just playing down in that basement, and if he hadn't come in that night, who knows which direction my life would have gone in.
You and Vise were the first superstar DJs to come out of rave music wizard, weren't they?
They were, indeed.
You really was, and I think we owe that to the haircuts.
Yeah, some funny hair.
And the dress sense. Did you feel at the time like something big was happening with you, like that there was a lot of coming out of Dreamscape, and then, because you was playing all over the country, but what year do you think you was playing all over the country, everywhere?
I think 1993 was the major year for me. I remember not a lot was happening for me, to be honest. I was playing, more text? Yeah, playing here and there, and it was just sort of, you know, okay. And then it was Dreamscape, New Year's Eve, Milton Keynes, LTJ Bookham went on, did 12 till 1. Don't get me wrong, he smashed it with his, you know, breakbeat stuff and that. Yeah. But the mood was very sort of just boppy, side to side, quite relaxed. Then I went on at 1 till 2, dropped Your Love Prodigy, Awesome 3, Sons of Luke Far Out, Blame, all that stuff. I've still got the video now. Everyone is on each other's shoulders. I mean, you look at it now, you will not see an atmosphere like it. It was mental. And from that night onwards, it went to like 5-6 bookings every single Friday and Saturday, like, for 10 years basically.
And at that point, did you realise, like, say, magic's happening with my career here, or was you just young and in the mood of it all?
Something did feel like, so after that night, something felt like there was definitely a massive change. And then I met Vibes and we went to his roller skating ring or whatever it was, and we did that Can You Feel Real Free?
Yeah.
And that was like, I said, you know, we've got to do something happy, we've got to do something uplifting. And we didn't know that we had a little gem on our hands, and the first time we played it out,
I still play it.
And it was like, oh my god, we have absolutely cracked this.
Nailed it.
Yeah, and that was it. We had our vision then. We managed to put the breaks with the pianos, so you know, still have heavy bass lines underneath. So it wasn't just out and out like sort of cheese. It still had some sort of depth to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was magic.
To people who may not know the story, Gamma as well, you've really taken him under your wing.
Oh god, when I found Gamma, I mean, well, it was, I had someone come up to me and said, can you listen to my Ironing Ladies Son CD?
Yeah.
And I was like, right, okay then. 6 months later, I listened to it, and don't get me wrong, there wasn't not much there at all. It was all this, so it was more hard house to be honest, but there was one little riff, and I was like, how the hell's he done that? And then I was saying to the guy I was in the studio with at the time how he did it, he goes, he didn't know. So I walked around to old Gamma's house, and he was just little Matt then, and went into his sort of bedroom, got taken up, and it was like something out of the Gremlin scene. He had all his curtains closed.
Yeah.
He had his little bowl haircut, sitting there. He was ghostly white, weighed seriously about 6.5 stone.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, Matt, and he didn't really look at me or anything. I was like, Jesus Christ.
He's a bit weird. Yeah, if I get on the wrong side of him, he's going to chop me up, and I'm not going to get out of here.
I'm like, all right, Matt, you know, how did you do that little thing? And he showed me, and I saw his hands move on that computer, and I was like, hang on a sec, I ain't seen anything like that in my bloody life. So I was like, you know, maybe we should do a little few things together. So that's sort of how I met Gamma.
Because that must feel good to know that people like Gamma and Hicksy, you've been right at the start and really helped them, and then to see where they've all come to now. How does that feel?
It feels brilliant, and what I love with Gamma is I feel that if I hadn't have found him at the beginning, I don't think I'd be in the hardcore scene now to the sort of the level that I'm at. It's like, by helping him, it's helped me, so, you know...
Because I remember when we did the one of the Helter Skelter albums, you said we had an interview and you said your mix was like 20 years in the making.
Yeah.
Which got me thinking, so, you know, you'd done all this stuff 20 years previous, and now you was working with Gamma, you felt, this is what I've been working to achieving, sound-wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, mate.
No, go on, just saying, it was just... it still amazes me how I met Matt, and I think, where would the hardcore scene be now?
Without him, 100%.
You know, he's done so much for it, and it's just, things are meant to happen, and that was meant to happen. Productions, what do you think have been your biggest productions that you've done in the past 20 years, or what ones mean the most to you? Well, Can You Feel Real Free was definitely a huge turning point, as I said, because that really, when we first played it, so that was a massive one. Really Love You, again, because the first time I ever dropped that, and the chorus, and I remember Slick Matt saying to me, I really like that, and I was like, wow, I've got Slick Matt saying he likes it, you know, I've done something right.
Yeah.
So they were the ones of that era, but then you go on and then you sort of come to the Gamma era. And me and Gamma, you know, we took sort of a good few years before we sort of developed a sound together. And I think when we did like Get Hyped, that was a special moment, because again we sort of felt like we'd found the sound of the new hardcore.
Yeah.
So that was really important. And then when we've done things like sort of All the Tears I Cried, Through the Darkness, say in the last 10 years, they're all really special. So yeah, it's sort of it's just the ones that sort of start you up for the next sort of your next sound almost, because they get you off on the right track again.
Forthcoming projects.
Forthcoming, basically me and Gams are back in the studio. I've sort of had a few months of sort of again actually just trying to work out exactly which way we're going with the music. So yeah, me and Gams are going to be sort of together all year again now, getting ready for another album.
Wicked.
We'll just sort of most probably once the album's done, we'll decide which record company we take it to and then we go with. But yeah, the next 6 months are all about another album.